Okay, Dana says, what is the best strategy for markets with little to no empty houses? My market is on fire. We have a housing shortage. Roughly 400 people a month move into my area. A lot of the housing is new construction to satisfy the need. Hey, Lindy. Hey, Lauren. Okay, so what's the best strategy for markets with little to no empty houses? My market is on fire. We have a housing shortage. Roughly 400 people a month move into my area. A lot of housing is new construction to satisfy the need. Okay, so when we are talking about lease options, owner financing, even if we're talking about wholesaling, new construction houses are not in our world. They're not. We are looking for those neighborhoods that are 20 to 30 years old. I'm looking for stuff that was built in the early 2000s or the 90s. So if your area was deserted in the 90s boom or the early 2000s boom, it may be worthwhile for you to drive 30 to 45 minutes to find more of those houses. Okay, because a 90s house and a 2000s house, those are still good houses. Those are amazing houses. A 60s house is fine. A 20s house is fine. Depending on what your market is, all the houses are fine. The biggest thing that I can tell you to remember is this isn't a house for you where you want to move into. This is a house where maybe, and Dana, you have some experience flipping, so maybe this is a house that just needs new carpet and paint. Maybe this is a house that's in a really good neighborhood. It's just been forgotten about or neglected. It could use a little bit of loving, and then it'll be the shining star on the block. So if your market is super duper hot, I would really encourage you to start driving through the older neighborhoods that maybe people aren't as focused on. Hey, Josie. Or start driving 30 to 45 minutes away from where it's so hot so that you can find more of those established neighborhoods. I believe there's a deal, there's lots of deals in every market. Once you know where the hotter pockets are in your market, now I want to sing the jingle again. You can also start to identify the cooler markets or where people aren't going as much. And it's not that people aren't going there, it's that investors aren't going there. Maybe it's that first-time home buyers aren't going there. But knowing where it's hot in Knoxville makes me know that East Knoxville is cool. It's pretty warm still over here. But if I go out of Knox County and into the next county, if I drive 30 minutes to the next county, the prices are on average $20,000 or $30,000 less. But people will live one county over and drive into Knox County for jobs. And I know that when I'm out in Jefferson County or Hamlin County or Sevier County, my competition goes way down. I just drove 30 minutes the opposite way of where everybody else was going. And it's still pretty warm, but it's easier for me to get in and get some deals and then create my own little honey hole in my own little pond. Does that make sense? Knoxville, piping hot. East Knoxville, a little bit cooler. One county over, payday. Okay? Does that make sense? Is that cool? And when I started, I had a lot of pride. I'll be honest, I had a lot of pride. And I wanted to be $1 million flipper in Fountain City. I wanted to go to the hottest school district. Or I wanted to go back to Powell, where I'm from. And I wanted to be amazing. I wanted everybody that I went to high school with to be like, yeah, Whitney flips houses over here. I went to high school with her, blah, 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 blah. But I couldn't get any deals there. It was too hot. I could not get my foot in the door over there, even though I was a PAL girl. I was Miss PHS. I ran that little Mayberry town. But I couldn't get anything done. So instead of banging my head against the wall and getting discouraged and frustrated, I just went to where people would answer the phone when I called. I went to where people would keep their appointments when I said I would be there. I went to where people were signing my deals left and right, couldn't wait to sign my deals. And I had a lot more fun and made a whole lot more money, and I just had to check my pride at the door. And I'm not saying that's what you got going on. I'm saying that's what I had going on. So go find where you can play, where you can be a big fish in a small pond. Go find your honey hole. And then even today, when I go to the RIA meetings, I spoke at the Knoxville RIA meeting in March, like 3 weeks ago. And they're talking about how hot the market is. And that's how I know that we have more agents than we do houses, because they were talking about, oh, I can't get any deals, and oh, I can't do this, and oh, I can't do that, and blah, 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 blah. And I remember going to those meetings and everybody being like just down and out, like, how are we going to find deals? How are we going to find deals? And I'd sign 3 that week. And I'd tell them, I'm out here playing in Jefferson County, and I'm getting deals, and I'm closing deals, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing that. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, well, that's good for you. I don't want to drive out there. Okay, I'll go out there. No problem. Y'all stay out here and fight over everything. It's cool. Good plan, guys. Okay, find your honey hole. Drive 30 minutes, 45 minutes sometimes. Go to the next county. And I live on the east side of Knox County, okay? This is my bedroom at my parents' house. We're in East Knoxville, almost in Jefferson County, almost in Granger County. I could have gone to Granger County, but there's not as many jobs in Granger County. And Jefferson County has 2 lakes and an interstate. Granger County has jobs, but Jefferson County had more things that interest me, like lakes and interstates. And interstates just have more traffic come through. Granger County is just as pretty as Jefferson County. I probably could have made a whole lot of deals in Granger County, but there wouldn't have been as much traffic. There wouldn't have been as many jobs coming through. So think about some of those things too when you're trying to find your honey hole. There is a place called White Pine in Jefferson County, and it was too far away. I didn't want to drive that far. I was willing to drive, but not clear over to almost the next 3 counties. That's how I would handle a hot market. That's how I handled a hot market. That's where my apartments are. You can't get a deal on apartments in Knox County. So I went 1 county over and I got a sweet ass deal. I even went 1 more county over to Hamlin County to get my triplex. And it is like, you want to talk about smoking hot? We are making a killing on that thing. It just prints money when it's not printing bed bugs, which is a totally different story.